first question. Pardon me. In what ways are LMSs or learning management systems used pedagogically or andragogically to enhance teaching and subsequently student learning?
Probably the best way that they help teaching is they help the instructor, because if you have a canned LMS, you're able to put your content in there, you're able to put your work in there, you're able to put all of the stuff in there, if you will, so that it makes it easier for you as the instructor to teach your class.
Okay.
With students, it's probably the same way, because if I have a canned LMS and I'm taking 4 or 5 or 6 online courses, they all look the same. Everything looks the same. Everything is same down the right, same or down the left, same across the top. It makes it easier for me as a student to navigate. It's easier for me as an instructor to get my content to the student, to deliver my content.
Okay. What are the values and expectations of having LMSs in university courses as perceived by students and instructors?
Can you ask that first part again?
What are the values
Values.
and expectations? First of all, based on students' perceptions.
Okay. The value to the student, again, is like I said in the first question, everything looks the same. All of my courses look the same. And I know right now the university's looking at a new LMS system. The issue or the concern that we have with the current one is they don't all look the same. And I believe they're trying to get to a new one so that all courses look exactly the same. So there's some wiggle room for the instructor to change things, but for the most part, me as a student, every one of my courses is going to have the exact same look, feel, taste, whatever, all the way down the line, so that I'm not confused when I open up my LMS. I pick my course, I know where the syllabus is, I know where the assignments are, I know where the quizzes are, I know how to get a hold of my instructor. It's a convenience thing. That's what adds value to the student in having an LMS. The same goes for the faculty member. If you are technologically challenged, and we do have a few of those in our world, an LMS allows you to overcome that technological challenge, because it's a plug and play. I have my content on my computer. All I have to do is copy and paste it into that LMS, and boom, there it's there. I don't have to know HTML. I don't have to know how to do any kind of computer coding. I need to write a document, plug it in. It's convenient for me. It's convenient for my students, and yet I'm still able to get that content delivered to the student.
Thank you. What are difficulties that instructors face using LMS?
I think the biggest one is their technology, or lack thereof, their fear of technology. They feel like if they're going to have to do an online course, they're going to have to know how to be technical. And that's their biggest challenge, is overcoming that. It's not technical. No, you're not the sage on the stage anymore in front of the classroom blathering on about whatever it is you're teaching. You have to actually be prepared. You have to be, it's a whole lot harder to teach an online course than it is to teach face-to-face, because you have to have every dot, every I dotted and every T crossed, because if you don't, then your student's going to get lost. But if you have a good content base, it's going to be easier to deliver your content online. And it's not technical, it's not, but that's going to be their biggest fear, is I can't learn the technology. I'm paralyzed. And that's not the case. Most LMSs are pretty straightforward, easy to learn, and there's always technical support.
Okay, and this is kind of elaborating a little more on what you just talked about. But based on these obstacles that you've mentioned, how can faculty overcome these obstacles?
The biggest thing faculty needs to know is, up front, It's gonna be time intense. It's gonna be time intensive because you're gonna have to have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted. You're gonna have to have your content laid out for the whole 15, well, not for the whole 15 weeks, but at some point, each one of those weeks is gonna have to have something in it for your student to gain. You can get in front of a class and dance for 50 minutes. Sing and dance, 50 minutes, class is over, I go home. In an online course, you're gonna have to think through what you're gonna teach every module, depending on how many modules it might be. I mean, anywhere from 6 to 20. You're gonna have all of those, and in order for faculty to overcome that, they're gonna have to realize that up front, there's gonna be a lot of labor intensive. I've gotta get my ducks in a row before I can move forward with this class. I can no longer sing and dance for 50 minutes and hope to get something across to my students. I can walk into a face-to-face class and not be prepared, and we can have a conversation about whatever for 50 minutes. You can't do that in an online course. That's an obstacle that they're facing, that they're gonna have to rethink how they teach in order to get past that, to get the content delivered to the student.
Okay. What are the instructors' attitudes, or first of all, what would your attitude be towards using LMS?
Why would you not? I mean, if you're gonna teach an online course, why would you not have an LMS? I've been here forever, and e-college is our 4th or 5th LMS. They all have basically the same bells and whistles. They all do basically the same thing. Why would I want to teach an online course and invent my own LMS, if you will? Why would I want to create my own platform to deliver that course on? An LMS is an easy way to do it, and thank goodness there's a bazillion of them out there that we can choose from. And the same for the student. I know right now we're having an issue with having moved students from one of our programs, moved from an LMS that was not ours into our LMS, and they're freaking out because they think they are looking at a new LMS, testing it for us, and we keep saying no. This has been around for years and years. We simply have moved you off of one platform onto a platform that we've been using all along. And they don't like it because it's new. People don't like change. It is what it is. But why would you not use an LMS to deliver an online course? Well, I mean, if you didn't, it would simply be sending emails back and forth or creating a web page that's got the course content on it. And then mine's not gonna look like yours, it's not gonna look like Joe Blow's, it's not gonna look like Susie's, and it's just a disaster. An LMS keeps everybody on the same page.
So of the other instructors that you know, how they feel, their attitude about LMS, what is your
It depends on,
conception?
I mean, we have, in my department particularly, we have some technically challenged instructors that are freaking out because we may be about to change our LMS. If you feel comfortable using technology, an LMS is an LMS is an LMS. But if change scares you, you're going to be freaked out, and we're going to be freaked out any minute now because we're about to change LMSs, and I can't do it. It's too hard, and somebody's going to have to convert all of my content for me. I can't. I'll just quit teaching online. And there's only a couple of those, and I think even university-wide, there's probably only a handful of instructors that would feel that way. You know, I'll just quit teaching online if you don't convert my content for me and I can't figure out how to use the system.
So with these instructors' issues, is having confidence one of the biggest factors?
Confidence in technology. Some of our seasoned faculty members who started teaching a number of years ago and have always taught face-to-face, always in the classroom, and now they're being forced to teach online, there's a fear of the unknown. There's a fear of the technology. And it's not that it's not technology. Teaching is teaching. It's just a different form of how you deliver your content. And so we're going to have faculty members that are going to be afraid of the change. It's a change. We're fearing change. We're fearing being forced to do something that I'm not comfortable with. What do you mean I can't still teach in the classroom? That's the way I've always taught. This is the way it's going in the future.
So is training
is
a good
critical.
method of help?
Training is critical, yes, if they will avail themselves of that training.
That's the key, is how to reach them.
How to reach them. How do you, yes, I can send you to training, but if you're paralyzed with fear, you can go to training every day from now on and never get it because you're not going to, because you don't want to. Or you're just going to say, I'll just quit teaching online. But yes, training is critical to get us all up to speed on whatever we're doing in an LMS. But if I don't avail myself of that training, it's not going to make any difference. And I'm going to hope that my admin assistant is going to do it for me. Or I'm going to have 2 or 3 GAs that do it for me. And then I don't have to.
Well, we've covered 2 different areas in regards to instructors, and that is their attitude towards LMS and their perceived ease of use towards an LMS. What do you think is the perceived usefulness to you, first of all, regarding an LMS? And I know you've touched on a lot of these areas already, but just to reemphasize, what do you believe is the most useful thing that an LMS can do for you as an instructor and be a student?
All my classes look the same. Ease of use. I mean, I know I'm going to teach online. I prefer to teach online. I know I can go into my platform, my LMS, and know exactly where I need to put my syllabus, exactly where I need to put my quizzes, exactly where I need to put my discussion boards. And it's ease of use for me. It's easy for my students. I know where everything is. They know where everything is. I can't imagine not having an LMS to teach an online course. And I don't have to know HTML. I mean, it's cut and paste from my Word document into my LMS. Boom.
That's
it's
nice.
There.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else that you might like to add before we wrap up?
You know, I think as a university, we need to have some kind of a platform, some LMS. Who cares what it is? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what its name is. There needs to be a platform for delivery of online courses because we are going to continue to teach online courses going forward. I don't see us ever going back to exclusive classroom teaching. I don't think we'll be able to stay in business if that happens. Besides, I don't like people. I prefer to teach online.
Well, I do agree. Well, Dr. Larkin, thank you so much
You're
for your
very
time.
welcome.
And we are wrapped.
Cool. Okay. That was easy peasy peasy. And I'm kind of excited about getting a new LMS. I understand the committee's leaning